Youth Ministry class to week 5. We are now halfway through quarter 302 with Youth Ministry class. Congratulations to you. I hope that everybody's doing well and that you're having a good week. For me personally, it has been a crazy, hectic week. I've been all over the place this week, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to share with you all the lesson today. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. What we're doing is we're on the second half of the lesson about powerfully communicating truth. So we're building off of talking about communicating with our students the gospel. And in this lesson, I'm sharing with you some methods or some mechanics of communicating the truth. What I want you to do is I want you to target truth by preaching or teaching with purpose. Our acronym is PURPOSE, PURPOSE. What we're going to do is we're going to take every one of those letters and we're going to develop a mechanical style of studying a text, presenting a text, preaching a text, and evaluating the text. So we'll start here. And listen, this is something I need you to remember. Just because I give you these suggestions doesn't mean that you necessarily have to do them. I'm not going to be testing you on preaching with purpose. I think the one thing I want you to remember is that you should purposely prepare to teach a lesson. Okay, everybody has their method. All right, everybody has their methodology, but this is the way that I do mine, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it this way. But I thought that these would be some good pointers to give you as you study. Maybe some things you haven't thought about when preparing a message. The goal is this: you want your students to understand fully what God has laid on your heart, and you want to do the very best that you can in presenting that to them. So we'll start here. Let's start by picking a biblical subject. The one subject that I'm just going to use as an example, okay? I'm going to start by saying we need to have a love for others. So the subject is going to be love, and specifically loving our neighbor or loving each other. The text that I'm going to be using comes out of 1 John chapter 4. We're specifically looking at verses 7 through 11, 20, and 21. Okay, so that's where I'm going to be focusing on. The biblical subject is going to be love for others. All right, love for others. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to uncover the central theme. The central theme is the CIT of the text. Okay, so you're looking at 1 John chapter 4. And you're wanting to or whatever text that you have, you're wanting to ask the question, what is it that God is wanting to communicate to me that I should communicate to others? So what is the main goal of the text? What is the author trying to say? I've heard it said before in homiletics classes that there are lots of applications, but there is one meaning. That is the truth, okay? There's one meaning in that text, all right? There's one purposeful meaning. Many applications, but one meaning. So in 1 John chapter 4, the application or the CIT of the text that I want to get is that there are truths about how we're supposed to love each other, all right? You notice they use that keyword truths. So that's what I'm going to build upon. Truths or statements about how we should love one another. The next thing that you should do is refine your objective. All right, the letter R is refine your objective. What you're wanting to do here is you're wanting to make sure that you understand what you're trying to communicate to your students. So what is it that you're wanting to establish? What is it that you're wanting to accomplish? In my case, I'm going to say, I want my students to learn this, that every student should learn some truths about how to love each other. That's what I want to communicate. All right? The next step is the letter P. That's to prepare your points. You never prepare your points without going through the text. So you got to study the text. You got to understand the CIT, the central idea of the text, and then you can begin developing your points. So I gave a few points. My points were our love for others is evidence that we belong to God. All right, that's one point. That comes out of 1 John chapter 4, verses 20 through 21. My second point is our love for others has already been exemplified by God. I use that from 1 John chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. My third point is our love for others is to be expressed by us continually. So that's found out of 1 John 4, 11 and verse 21. Those are the points that I'm going to prepare so that students will get as much as they can out of the text. There's going to be a second video I want you to click on because I'm running out of room here. So click on the next video and we'll continue the lesson.